As always, dear readers and dear listeners, the choice to listen to a guy rant on a bad fanfic is yours. You've also had the other choices. Listening to my previous picks. Listening to me reading other stories. They do exist. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we got a special one. We got another part of the Jetman story. You can listen to that. There are so many out there. But if you sit here and choose to listen to this, congratulations, it's not my problem. It's yours. You are the one who picked to listen to this. You chose to stay here. So, really, you gotta ask yourself, why are you listening to the rant video if you don't like it? Seriously. I don't get it. For the rest of you, here's Nightmare and Night and Nyx, Chapter 8. Enjoy. Meanwhile, at the new Palace of the Moon, preparations proceeded as they predictably might. Needless to say, the royal staff was having a hissy fit. Princess Luna was making the rounds, checking to see all that was in preparation. Unfortunately for her peace of mind and good temper, her two hoof-picked assistants, Palm and Circumstance, were making the rounds with her, all but treading on her heels and keeping a constant litany of complaints. Oh God. We're really going to do this. Reality check. I want you to stop for a second and think about how cliched this is. I want you to sit down and think how cliche it is that we have Luna walking around with two uppity ponies trying to fix her stuff. Isn't this just feel like worn down and tired? Like, can we do something new? Like Luna walking around with a couple of bad ponies who are excited? Just, to show a little bit of difference. Is there any way we could do that? Please? Because I'm getting really bored of this typical uptight, overstuffed person who is trying to make it perfect. Alright, the last time I saw this done well was back on Critical Role. And that was only because Terry was awesome. But I think you get my point. You better have something new to add. Still, I get it. Time to bring out this voice. Your Highness, we must absolutely protest. If these were hoof-picked by Luna, why didn't she pick more fun-loving ponies? Why did Luna pick these two? You just said she was hoof-picked. If she hoof-picked them, then she would know what she's dealing with. One of the two ponies trailing Luna said. She turned from the waitstaff she was speaking to and faced the twosome. The two were pale cream-colored, with meticulously groomed light brown manes and short, carefully trimmed mustaches. They were dressed in mounting cottontails, vests, copper bronze, caveats, every corner carefully greased and pressed, every button nosed, not a hair out of place, identical right down to the crease pocketed handkerchiefs. They were, in fact, twin brothers, identical, even the cutie marks, a crown and a scepter. Wouldn't at least one of them have something unique? And would have been indistinguishable save for one detail. One was a Pegasus and the other was a unicorn. Even then, confounded Luna couldn't keep forgetting which one was which. Why didn't Luna just put a name tag? Yes, I am well aware, Luna said sarcastically. It is all you have done since shortly after I announced my plans for the evening. The two of them glared through matching monocles unyielding. Luna ran at her temper aside. She did, after all, hire them to assist her. Why? Why did you hire them? You had so many choices, and you picked them? Why? Isn't that like calling out Gordon Ramsay to help your failing restaurant and not expect him to point out everything's wrong with it? Oh, late. Yeah. Man, people are stupid sometimes. Very well, speak up, please. Plug and Circumstance glared at each other. The Pegasus was the first to speak. Your Majesty, allow us to lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Marcel, easier. What are you doing? Well, Trixie, I figured that I'm bored with this whole entire cliched upbeat, muckety muck type pony. I decided I might as well just sing the only Triumph song I know. Are they a one-hit wonder? Let me check. Well, they have another song called Never Surrender, and upon listening to it, I now feel more muscular. This is the ceremonial opening of your new palace. You are, as we understand, trying to step out from underneath your sister's shadow and show that you're a separate entity from her. A full and complete rule of equestrian in your own right. Luna should have done this years ago, but move on. That the common pony can turn to you as readily as he is to your sister. So that they can rely on you just as much. And, Luna pressed. And, his brother continued, Pomp, Circumstance. Tartarus take it as he was going to have tattooed her names on their flanks right over their cutie marks, so help her. Why not name tags, Luna? Why not that? We are certain this colorful atmosphere is sending absolutely the wrong message. Luna, why did you hire them again? Why did you think these were good ponies for you? Colorful atmosphere, Luna said. A wrong message. What message would that be? Again, these guys should know what they're setting up for. Although, now the question becomes, is Luna in the right for doing this? Yes, I'm stalling. I don't want to listen to reality checks this right. I really don't. But I do like deconstructing this, so what do you folks think? Do you think Luna's in the right to make this a carnival atmosphere, to make this a full-on party? Or is she not being respectful? Are ponies going to look at Luna and think from this that she is a reliable pony? Or are they actually going to think that she's actually going to do good? Or are they actually going to follow her stances on the issues? Remember, just because one is relatable and is connected doesn't mean that they have the ability to work well. Sometimes it's better for a pony to be, business first. Highness, in less than 2 hours, some of the creme de la creme of Catalan society and nobility is going to descend on the palace for a soiree. One said. The other picked up where he left off. At the same time, you will invite the entire population of an Earth pony. Oh God, we're doing this. Kudos. Want to join in? Join in, you say? You mean more examples of pony racism? Well, they prove me right. Need I to remind you, Pomp, Circumstance. Speaking of which, call me. We've got things to discuss. But you do remember the G5 movie did show that the best ponies that were living their lives were the Earth ponies, no? So I'd be careful just who you hold in high regard, Pomp, Circumstance. Shing, by the way, if you would kindly come this way. No kudos, bad boy. Needless to say, since the main character of G5 is an Earth pony, and it was showing off the Earth ponies to be superior in all their tech. How many times have you watched? I've watched it at least 10 times. The Earth ponies ruled that thing. My only problem is Sunny didn't do any experiments on them. I am very miffed. Right. Talk to you later, Kudos. And people in my rivers only talk about conquest. They only talk about the comedy villain who is silly and, while having different layers, shows that he is weak compared to the main six. And they ignore the Nazi. I'm willing to bet you anything they think I like writing Conquest the most. No. My favorite villains in Fall to write for were the trio and Kudos, Krogar, and Raven. Even though she technically wasn't a full-on villain, I still loved writing for her. But Kudos was a personal fave of mine. And when these two groups meet, they start simultaneously. Hey, Pomp, Circumstance. Forgetting something about Ponyville? It's not just an Earth Pony Village. There are unicorns there. And Pegasi. Kind of forgetting that part, Harley? I'm just saying, you guys are kind of ignoring the problem. You seem to think that Ponyville has only Earth ponies. No! You want to see a village full of only Earth ponies? Go to G5, I'll show you it. But no, there are multiple races here living together. That's the whole point. Although, I bet you guys used to think that Earth ponies were on the bottom rung. I bet you eat your rung. So throw out all those history books. No, no, stop! I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. But you folks gotta admit, You'll Fit Right In is one of the catchiest songs on that whole thinking soundtrack. It goes further, the unicorn said. The music, the entertainment, the costumes, the food, it's all of the lowest common denominator. He finished. So, is Luna just bringing in Final Scratch, or is he bringing in Octavia? Or is RC Coca-Cola one of those writers who doesn't like bringing in any other background ponies except Ditzy? Because we know Mikan is. I mean, when have you seen anybody other than, well, Trixie show up? Trixie is not a background pony! I mean, where's Octavia, Vinyl, and Starfleet? Can you imagine how offended many of the nobles will be, rubbing elbows with shopkeepers and farm labor, forced to eat fritters and caramel apples like a country bumpkin? Well, if Sea fights Fancy Pants, I can imagine they're all just going to become complete head nodders. And if she invites, say, some of the other nobles who actually can get out and have fun. Seriously, RC, why are you forgetting that there are other nobles besides the ones that turn down Rarity? I mean, there are other good ones. Pay attention. That's like reading Lord of the Rings and thinking that there were only evil orcs, when even J.R.R. Tolkien himself said no. Enough! Luna snapped, stamping her hoof so hard the stone beneath it cracked. I thought thee better than this! They're called Pomp and Circumstance, Luna. They have cutie marks establishing their talent. If you didn't want them, pay attention to their cutie marks, and then look at their resume. It's not that hard! Such etiquette and egotism. Dost thou imagine thyself above and higher to the ponies in this village? These ponies, whose work clothes your back, graces your table, and fills your bellies, among whom the bearers of the very elements count on their own number. Fie on thee, thou wilt count thyself honored above thy station, to number these country buckets as thy kinsmen. Oh God, I can feel the speech. They looked at each other again, expressing a softening bit. Pomp, the unicorn to a certain distance, spoke. We apologize, your majesty. Be sure we do not take the attitude of some nobles have to commoners, but like the attitude or not, whether we share the attitude or not, that is the attitude you will face. The nobility will be scandalized, and will be far less supportive of you in future endeavors. Which actually is kind of true. I had to side with him on this. Luna, you really have to think of your image and what you're going to be considered. Sometimes if we're going with democratic monarchy here, then you might not get some bills passed, or some people might turn against you. This is one of those things that the Luniverse did well. They did remember that when you're examining a politics like this, you have to be careful. You have to be considerate, and this is all going to be one-sided, isn't it? It's a reality check. Are you honestly expecting him to have a nuanced view of things? No, I was just hoping this chapter never happened. Even now, we could possibly help you avoid this, his brother said. If you would give us some leeway on organizing this. I'll still consider it, Luna said, suddenly pacing calm again. That mayhap is not their support I desire. Pomp and circumstance were taken aback. I am Princess of the Moon. Whether the houses or lords call me highness or not, I will raise and set the moon whether or not they even acknowledge my existence. I need them not, and I will continue alike along their houses, or dust and reprisal names are forgotten and their title is taken by another. She turned away, looking in the middle distance. No, 'tis not their faith I need, 'tis they who need mine, and far more deeply, though they know it not. They, and I, need the faith and fellowship of the common people they so scorn. Accompany me and listen. If you'll see, this is a nice little track, is it not? Yes, yes. Good. As you can see, this track is owned by Reality Check. Yes, yes. We are about to go on a long author track. We have just interrupted this story for an author track. You people listening to this fic, you may want to get some popcorn or leave or click on another video. I'm pretty sure that one of your recommendations might be a Critical Role or a actual play podcast or even Brony D&D. Why don't you go listen to that? I'm positive that those stories will be far more entertaining than this long author track. Confidentially, if any of you guys do actually end up having Critical Role or Brony D&D as one of your recommendations down on the bottom, down on the side of your screen, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna laugh if that happened. Thou knowest the lesson the hot swarming day, I trust? Yeah. I went through it. I went through a long rant. Trust me, I know of it. The two brothers muttered in acknowledgement. Allow me to assure you that it is rubbish. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go and do something far more favorable with my time, i.e. practicing my shooting small little innocent animals with Samus's arcane. I'll be right back. Take this, you motherfucking little bunnies! Sometimes, you just need to feel a little bit better about yourself. Using that arcane makes me feel better. Both brothers popped their monocles in surprise. Okay, So let me get this straight. This huge historical archaeological find did not make national news. It did not spread among the populace. This is news to some ponies? I'm sorry, but when you have a national day like this changed, it's going to make national headlines. Oh, the generalities of it are mostly correct, but the lay of the tale, as it were, is askew. 'Tis presented that the conflict between the three clans of ponies were equally divided, with each being equally at fault. I know better, as does Celestia, though she has allowed this bolderized version to take hoof in these latter days as a... She waves the hoof dismissal, sort of parable of harmony. Yes, because heaven forbid that we don't take into consideration what would happen if we suddenly said that a national holiday celebrating happiness, peace, and love is to be dismissed because of new truths. Because, heavens knows, that wouldn't cause massive conflict and devastation at all! I mean, just... why not? Honestly, Luna, I think you're an idiot in this fic. Sins in history are forgotten, or soon history repeated. The truth of the tale is that the balance was far from equal. The Pegasi controlled all the weather, and commanded the skies with their armies. The unicorns ruled from the mountains, mastered both sun and moon, while the earth ponies only had the gift of growing things and tending the animals. Kudos? Would you like to make a statement? Oh no, I think we already made that statement during the fic. I'm just too busy writing out the accompaniment. Dost thou sincerely imagine the earth ponies stood on equal footing with those that commanded the night and day, forces arcane and the wrath of storms, and the art of war for the sky? Oh, for Pete's sake. Kudos, you handle this. With pleasure, my friend. I'm not your friend. No, but you do write to me expertly. Why, yes, of course, earth ponies can stand on equal ground with the sky ponies and the unicorns. For while they command the heavens and command the weather, we know what's foods to grow in any type of weather. We know what's foods to grow in any type of season. So thus, for all their military might, they would die of starvation before they even had a chance to even control our scenario. We would win just for pure sake. Not to mention, but Pegasus bones are quite right. Even if they were to engage in a ground war with us, we could easily break them. Have you ever heard of a Pegasus bones breaking? It sounds like a hollow hot log cracking when you step on it. As for the unicorns, why, they can cast magic all they want, but if you stand close to them and smack them while they're charging their magic, they can't really cast spells now, can they? Also, some of us might get hurt. But we earth ponies have been able to withstand rocks falling on us, trees hitting us. We have endurance. Take for example, a super barbarian. Also, he may lack the flight of other casters or the power. But if you were to hit him with a fireball, who would survive more? The other spellcaster or the barbarian with brute strength? I know how I put my hoof on. What's more, all it would take to take that little flyer out of the sky would be a super thrown axe. You forget, my dear fanfic Luna, that earth ponies are strong in any situation. While you take away a unicorn's magic, they are weak and pathetic. You take away a Pegasus' wings, they are nothing more than just earth ponies themselves. your whole philosophy, your whole theory is based off of nothing, really. Why, even a photo to Celestia. Wonderful fanfic, by the way. Who's the scariest threat in the wasteland? Why, it is not the Enclave that lord over the clouds and sky. It is not even the unicorns. It is Red Eye, an earth pony, filled with power and strength that would astound you. All without a fireball in hand. We earth ponies also have the gift of creating technology. As you can see in G5, they create wonderful designs of technology and weaponry that could have destroyed those Pegasi and unicorns, and this is why I hate the ending so much. So again, and this goes for you, dear readers, tell me, who do you think is the superior race? The unicorns who could be destroyed by breaking their horn off. The Pegasi, who, if you peeled their wings off, are nothing more than earth ponies, and I have to admit, that was one of my more fun experiments. Or me, the earth pony. I tell you who I put my money on. Adieu. Again, my riffers focus way too much on conquest when it comes to villains. And the thing is, all that is improv. The truth of the tale is that any scholar of history, at least of my time, knew that this tale was a miss, and any pony with common sense could see that the earth ponies were, that they had been, lorded up by everybody else or two. That is bullshit if you know it! Kudos is gonna pop up a lot, isn't he? The truth was confirmed many, many months past by researchers in the Christian Empire. Why wasn't that written down? I'll never know. I mean, if we were to find the remnants of Noah's Ark right now, that would be all over the news! That would be broadcasted from the Highlands! That would be everywhere! They would be going, hey! We found the pieces of Noah's Ark! And you don't think that nobody was going to tell that, hey, the whole entire story was false and it didn't get published everywhere? Reality check. I think you need a reality check. Because I think your mind is too damn focused on one thing. You can't see any other possibilities. 'Twas the earth ponies who were but peasants and slaves to the unicorns and Pegasi. 'Twas the earth ponies who arrived in Equestria 2 full years before the others. Again, 'twas not Clover the Clever, but the earth ponies, with the secrets of their magic, who saved the pony tribes from extinction under the hooves of the Wendigos. Yeah, because all that love and friendship thing is just a bunch of bollocks, isn't it? Although, technology keeping the Wendigos at bay does explain G5. And as I said before, I don't really care if they ever explained what happened to Equestrian between G4 and G5, or if they will explain it. Because chances are, whatever they explain won't match the headcanon of some people, and people will complain about it. I'm thinking to myself, either it'll be explained or it won't. I'll probably still just enjoy the show as it is. And just enjoy the characters with the comedic situations and the fun adventure. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. Pomp and circumstance both gasped at the revelation. And this wasn't explored in science magazines and history magazines. Why? but they were far less than surprised. Deep down, they always suspected the real heartwarming tale had played out fairly different from how it was normally portrayed. I just had a thought. I'll get to that at the end of this chapter. The true story of heartwarming has yet to filter down to the common pony. Tales of how we did get our own history wrong really sell holiday crossing treats. Luna snoring. I don't know. We have found different ways to mix original ideas with with our Christmas origins and Christmas tales. Not to mention, we have found different ways of mixing and collecting these stories together. While at the same time, people can hear the origin story and just not care. I mean, for instance, I have heard the story of several different versions of why we have a Christmas tree on Christmas and some of the original origins of why. I still get a Christmas tree to this day. Luna, I'm sorry to tell you this, but even if we did tell everybody how their own history was wrong, the holiday crafted treats would still be selling well, because ponies would still enjoy it in spite of that. I hate to tell you this, but some people who don't even celebrate the holiday, if they have families or friends who do, they do join in and enjoy the holiday with their friends and family, in spite of their different beliefs, because they respect each other well enough. You can tell the ponies all you want about what is the true meaning of heartwarming and the true backstory and all that, but it's not going to change. The fillies and foals are still going to enjoy their candies. The ponies are still going to get presents, and they're still going to set up holiday decorations, because they'll embrace the spirit of coming together, of the three tribes uniting, of being able to get together as one and celebrating their unique differences. Hell, some people will probably just put it away and just ignore it. Do you know how many times I've heard different truths or different stories of Christmas to this day? I've heard the origins from many people who have talked about it. I've read up on the history of different variations. And you want to know what I still do on the first day of every December? I still put up my decorations. I still head to my nearest town to shop and buy everything. I still celebrate it with my friends and family. And I still happily engage in doing D&D one-shots, Christmas themed related. You can give me all you want with these, but it's not going to change things. And I bet if you were to take some people of that faith and tell them the true story, they're not going to really care where the origins of Christmas came from. They're going to first maybe not believe you, and those who do believe you are still just going to go, still fun. Still caring. I'm sorry, Luna, but you're wrong. People would still buy and sell all the treats and buy everything that they want because they enjoy it, because they like it. Luna snorted. Scholars still argue a debate was been proven beyond a doubt. Truly yet be this heartwarming season when the full truth was given to all the Equestria, and our history books are drastically changed. Still not gonna change much. Is there some point to this story, Your Majesty? Pomp finally asked. I'm with Pomp on this. Is there some point you're trying to make, Luna? Because for as much as RC can author track, I can debate a lot longer. The point my assistants and mind is that we are fair close to repeating the sins of the past, Luna said. Yeah. We are so fair close that we've been doing this for 1,000 years. Luna, the worst that's going to happen is that they're just going to be 3 separate tribes into 3 separate locations. I've not been back long, but fair long enough to see that we have a divided kingdom, and not one divided betwixt day and night. We have an ever-buzzing class of elites, nobility, and uplifted names. Really? Because the entire class of elites you're talking about and bragging about are all mostly in Canterlot. They are pompous, elegant, and utterly divided from whom they were appointed to serve. Like, yeah, I would really like to see your proof beyond just 2 ponies of Canterlot. I would really like you to point out episode, title, and scene beyond that. They look with condescension upon the very ponies who put clothes on their backs and food in their mouth. She looked back. Moreover, those ponies, the common ponies, look with resentment upon Canterlot. Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? They are the songs of people who shall not be shunned again. They believe that they have no voice with their princesses that can be heard over the fawning and flattery and influence of the elite. You can literally walk up to Princess Celestia's castle right now and knock on the door and walk inside. Where are you getting this shit? It's certainly not that bad, is it, Your Majesty? No, it isn't. Reality Check is making bullshit up. Asked roughly his wings. I mean, certainly there's some abrasion among the classes. Abrasions? Silent instances? Yes, please! Oh, we're all ears. Dinobot is just over here for the food. We're listening. Char. Dost thou not recall the Grand Gallo 2 years past? How Prince Blueblood, that poster child for the useless ponies, did abuse the element of generosity? To be fair, he probably does that with every pony, so it wasn't like Rarity was singled out. And besides, Rarity came out to him. All the element of laughter was bored to tears and scolded for trying to add merriment to the proceedings. Yeah, because Pinky had no idea that there was a difference between their kind of fun and her kind of fun. She may have been trying to add merriment, but she didn't realize that there was different tones. How loyalty was shunned. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Rainbow Dash was not shunned. Shunning would be going like, The Wonderbolts practically let Rainbow Dash hang out with them for a little bit. But was it really their fault for getting, involved and being dragged into different scenarios? Was it really their fault? Honesty was sneered for her common fare. There we go. Now that one we agree on. 1 out of 6, Luna. 1 out of 6. And kindness was left alone in the gardens for lack of a welcome from either pony or beast. Yeah, maybe somebody should have went with Fluttershy. Maybe Spike should have gotten off his ass and did something. But no, Spike had to be an idiot. Well, again, how generosity, despite being honorable trade and having Hoofman. Luna, I have to point out something. For somebody who seems to care about the elements, you're not really referring to them by name. That says a lot about you, doesn't it? Of honorable trade and having a hoof saving Equestria multiple times, having been last by the mockery of the upper castes, it felt like she had to falsely present herself to protect herself and her friends against the abuse and scorn of the upper elite. Not really. She only had to make that one little lie. Afterwards, after she met up with Fancy Pants, not much. And after Fancy Pants helped her out, Fancy Pants, monocle, cool pony, one of my favorite characters. She didn't feel like she had to anymore. Kind of tells you a lot, doesn't it? Oh, it's the wedding of our niece, kids. Oh god, here we go. We were invaded by a changeling army, and the invasion almost did exceed. While the staff, sultry, and even the elements of harmony thought it perfectly natural to be firmly insulted and disrespected by one of royalty. Wow. You folks should look at his face. That's the face of somebody who is having it up to here with reality check's stupidity. It's quite a miracle. I haven't seen this type of face in ages. You know, RC Coca-Cola, again, you're real lucky that there was a changeling invasion. Because if there wasn't, then Cadence would just come off as a bridezilla. And we all know those don't exist, right? It's not like, you know, it's a stressful time and people could be upset and all that. Oh, no. And it has to be because of this whole entire thing you got against the nobility. No pomp and circumstance. The fair sensibilities of the noble classes doth not concern me. I have made my new home here, in the Palace of the Moon, down in Ponyfield, that the common pony, who doth take up the flesh and bone of this kingdom, will indeed show more kindness and welcome, despite my fearsome reputation. Like that, the Nightmare Night episode. Really? Might know that I have a princess too. You know, reality check, you just had Luna describe... Oh, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, Make It a Fuss and Bone has shown more kindness and friendliness. Know that they may have a princess too. I made my new home here. You know, reality check, you have an entire fic where Twilight just misses the idea of becoming a princess. You just had Luna say in a paragraph of 3 lines why Twilight should be a princess. Congratulations! You just said it! So Twilight could be a princess of the common pony! Congratulations! You just proved why Twilight should be an alicorn! Bravo! Bravo, man! I've never seen somebody destroy his entire argument in less than 1 paragraph. Oh, you beautiful, beautiful, evil Gary Gygax, you. And it would fast serve the noble classes to spend time by making with the common pony. See, Snorin, maybe take one night to pull that stick out of the collective plots. See, I will mutter and glower. But Brennan's monocles popped again at this rather broad statement. They stared at the princess who walked off down the hallway, then at each other, shook their head in dismay. This is going to be the Grand Galaxy disaster. Times 10, times 100. Is there anything we can do? Scream, panic, fight about like a mad pony. Maybe later. For now, I have 2 thoughts. We have a sworn duty to help the princess, and you know what? No, I quit. So am I! Oh, good. I was hoping you would quit. Come here, boys. Oh, no.